What's up, Brooks? How are you this morning?
You got me waking up way too early for this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? You got me waking up way too early.
Well, I'm sorry.
You
Um,
better be.
it's busy. Um, you gotta give the people what they want, you know. Can't be slacking off. Think of this as your unpaid full-time job.
How about no?
Okay.
But
Well, how you doing?
I'm excited for what we're gonna have in the future.
Okay, that's good.
There we go.
All
Guess
right.
what's next, Baron? We're get excited. It's early in
I'm
the morning.
excited.
We're talking about what? Wow, your excitement is it's so palpable. I can feel it.
I mean, I do have the flu, but I'm trying to be as excited as I can. Um, yeah, we got Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Would be more excited if my team was playing, but fortunately, that's not the case. We had the Pro Bowl yesterday. That was pretty exciting. So we got a lot to talk about, if I'm being quite honest, on our last episode of the season. I
Yeah, crazy
assume it
man.
is. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
Welcome to the greatest podcast on earth. Nothing agreed. We have a great show for you tonight, so stay tuned and buckle up.
Another episode of Nothing Agreed. Back with the boys today, Baron.
Mm-hmm.
It's bowl. It's pro. It's super. We got the bowls we got to talk about. First thing I want
Yes,
to
we
talk
do.
about,
Yes.
we're actually both under the weather.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got tested for flu. I got tested for flu, strep, everything like that. They
Mm-hmm.
put a shot in me.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. So we're both powering through this. And for those that don't know, you probably tell from Baron's setup more than mine.
Sorry.
After Baron dies off the podcast, real quick,
Gonna keep my
Baron got
hand on
my
the
ass
mic.
Baron got my ass waking up early in the morning. I went to bed at 2 a.m. and this man got me waking up at 8. So,
Oh, goodness
yeah,
gracious. Well, you didn't inform me that you were going to bed at 2 p.m. Also, I asked if you wanted to do it
2 a.m.
yesterday, and
I couldn't do it yesterday. I literally did not get home until I got home at 11:30, and then I went to the gym at midnight.
hmm, see,
So,
I would encourage you to put the podcast over your personal gains, Brooks. But I'm not you. I can't make you do what you want. Here we are, this
were you
beautiful.
awake at midnight?
Yeah, actually was.
Okay, word. No, never mind. Bad communication.
Um, I was actually up at a much more selfish reason. I was watching shout out the season finale of Fallout, great TV show.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I actually just could not wait until the next morning. I had to watch that when it came out. So great show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's amazing.
It's so good they took a video game on it.
Yeah, best video game adaptation of all time, movie or show. I'm gonna say it right there. So yeah, go watch it if you haven't. It's great. But let's talk about sports, right? We got Pro Bowl, Super Bowl. Brooks mentioned. Let's start with the Pro Bowl, right? Happened yesterday. Did you know it happened yesterday?
I was working when it happened. I said I was going to watch it. I thought it was the weekend. It was on
So,
Tuesday.
yeah.
So I
So
worked. I
Brooks,
was working.
let me tell you a story. Um, I sat down Sunday. We had a snow day here at Clemson on Saturday. It was pretty fun. Actually, a lot of snow came down during the day. Went to the Clemson basketball game where we beat the crap out of Pitt.
Yeah.
Then we went sledding, which was awesome. Had snowball fights, all the fun stuff you would do in a winter wonderland. The next day, Sunday, I wake up with the flu. Pretty bad. That was the worst of it, at least. I was in my bed all day. But I was like, you know what, Brooks? It's Sunday. Sunday before the Super Bowl. What am I going to be blessed with? Some Pro Bowl action. And I had just heard the day before that my quarterback, Jalen Hurts, was announced as a Pro Bowl alternate. So I was excited. I was like, I can finally watch a little bit of Eagles football before the season's over, and it wasn't even on. I'm looking everywhere for the Pro Bowl on Sunday, and I'm like, where the fuck is it? It's not on today. I'm like, did they cancel it? Is it like what's going on? And then I had to do some research, yeah, just to find out it's on a fucking Tuesday. Why is it on a Tuesday? That's the most random day of the week.
Why are we not in Hawaii? Why are we not on a Sunday afternoon?
Yeah.
They're doing it all wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It's just such a fall from grace. Like obviously I get that flag football is at least like these players seem to enjoy playing flag football a little more than probably tackle football at the end of the season when nothing's on the line. But it just doesn't look as good. I mean, you're talking about like when you think of the Pro Bowl, right? 10 years ago, when you talked about the Pro Bowl, you're using that to like boost up people's resumes. Like, oh, this quarterback's so great. He's a 10-time Pro Bowler. Or this receiver's much better than this one. He's a 4-time, 6-time Pro Bowler. And I just kind of feel like that doesn't mean anything. I mean, we got Shadur Sanders and Joe Flacco being thrown out there. Shout out Joe Burrow. At least he came through and made it a little bit exciting for the good players in the AFC, I guess. But yeah, it just feels like it's such a joke of a event now. I mean, you have half the people that get named to it decline to go. So you have to announce all these alternates. I mean, I feel like in 10 years, when you talk about players and be like, oh, this player's so great, he has 6 Pro Bowls, that won't mean anything because it's really just a popularity contest, it feels like. I mean, do you have any critiques on the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was on.
Exactly.
That's the issue. Like,
did they even do any of like the skills games or anything?
I don't know because I was working, Baron.
I don't know either.
Like I said, I had no time yesterday. All right, I've been hustling off my ass, and then I get a notification from the score. NFC climbs back with second half comeback. George Pickens wins MVP. I was like, huh? Like I didn't even know. So I told him last podcast I was excited to watch it. Didn't even know it'd be on a Tuesday. So
yeah, well,
yeah.
We can talk about the game from the brief recap. I know.
I can't even tell you what happened. It's all you. The floor is yours.
Well,
if you want to talk about it.
I mean,
until we get to the Super Bowl, the floor is yours.
That's fair. I mean, I'll just say this Pro Bowl was my heated rivalry. Is all I'm gonna say. Right? We had Jalen Hurts.
It's no longer yours.
We had well, I'm telling you, that was the story of the game, Brooks. I'm not making this up. It was NFC East players making plays to win the game. It was all the Cowboys players plus Jalen Hurts throwing the ball to them. I'm including Dak Prescott in this. He had 4 touchdown passes. Jalen Hurts had 3. All touchdown catches were by either George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Turpin, or Jake Ferguson. The entire offense was just the Cowboys plus Jalen Hurts for the NFC.
So that makes it a gay hockey show for what reason?
Because they seem to love playing with my quarterback. They're all over there, smiles, happy, high-fiving each other. Man, it just felt good to see my guys happy, you know, and playing football. That was my main takeaway, just from the highlights I got to see. But yeah, it's not a great event though. I mean, the only thing you really get to see are like cool. They're doing double passes and they're bringing out some trick stops. They ran a tush push in the Pro Bowl. The NFC did. It was actually just to kneel the clock down. But yeah, we're taking knees in the Pro Bowl game now in flag football. So yeah, it's just a whole mess. So briefly, Brooks, do you have a suggestion to fix it? I mean,
nuke the Pro Bowl. That's what we do. Nuke it. Put it in Hawaii, man. Just bring it back in Hawaii. I generally, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I think I could give you a solution for basketball. I have to think about it for football. I really don't know how to make the sport exciting.
You gotta find some incentive to give to these players. I mean,
I don't know how you can. I mean, I don't know how you can make the sport exciting with nothing on the line.
I mean, I feel like if you had Pro Bowl players and you had incentive based like paydays, like if you're a Pro Bowl receiver and you have say 8+ catches in the Pro Bowl, then maybe you get $500,000, or you have over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Pro Bowl, maybe you get an extra $1 million. I don't know, maybe something to get them to like at least want to play it. But yeah, I really don't know. I still kind of like the Super Bowl suggestion, where the winning conference gets to host the next year's Super Bowl. I mean, the only downside I can think of that is, oh no, we don't have a random city hosting the Super Bowl that has a year in advance to prepare. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think you can. I think a lot of these cities can do with 2 weeks to prepare for a Super Bowl after finding out they've been selected. I really don't think you need I don't think you need 5 years in planning. Maybe you do. I'm not the guy in those rooms, but I just feel like we don't like we can have like yeah, if you wanted to do the Super Bowl, like all the pre stuff, event stuff, whatever, you wanted to do that at a set location. I know they like to do that at the Super Bowl. I think that could work, but I don't think any of the players would like that either. But I think if you do really want to incentivize the Pro Bowl, you got to take some cuts probably in Super Bowl week. And again, you just got to find something that you want players to play for. And I think a chance to host a Super Bowl because again, if you're playing in the Pro Bowl for a chance to host the Super Bowl in that year, they're not going to care because none of those players are going to go to the Super Bowl. But if you give players an opportunity to compete for a game that might let them host the Super Bowl in their stadium the following year, I think you'll see a lot of players, especially good players. Like, I think you won't see as many players from competing teams opt out of the Pro Bowl. There's something to play for that's worth it to them, right? So I think that fixes a lot of issues, but obviously it would lose the NFL a lot of money in terms of their Super Bowl week.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to be something that they really can't fix. I really don't know how they're going to fix it.
I don't think.
Wow.
I mean, and it just seems like we're also heading towards a big just wave of flag football with the Olympics being introduced. Tom Brady's doing that big flag football game over in Saudi Arabia, trying to get a league set up over there. I'm pretty sure that's the rumor. So, yeah, I think we're just trying to bring flag football to the world instead of real football.
No, flag football's not exciting. That's for my fifth grade son.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I guess maybe football. You would think. Again, I don't know what the argument is to bringing flag football instead of. You can do both, but like, is the argument bringing American football overseas? Is it too violent of a sport? Because I would think that that's not an issue for any country that's not America. If I'm being completely honest.
You play rugby.
Exactly. So, yeah, I really don't know the reasoning why we can't just have real American football growing around the world, but hey, at least there's some sort of football.
There you go.
Any other Pro Bowl coverage you want to give a shout out to?
Sure, I'll give a shout out to this, to the Pro Bowl. If it was either UFL or Pro Bowl, I'm actually watching the UFL. The Pro Bowl's that bad because UFL has something on the line. Next question.
All right, well, it's that time of the year.
I might actually start watching the UFL.
Oh God, you see a lot of college players that you might have missed out on.
I know.
Oh boy. Any pre-draft stuff you want to shout out? Give a quick topic on.
So this is our Super Bowl, so let's indulge in the Super Bowl, and then trust me, we will get into some pre-draft stuff.
Okay, you heard the man, guys and ladies, if there are any. But yeah, We'll talk about the Super Bowl. Okay, we'll talk about the Super Bowl. Patriots, Seahawks, Super Bowl 60, Santa Clara, California. Brooks, what's the most important part of Super Bowl week leading up to the Super Bowl? You tell me. Or what's your favorite part? Not the most important, but what's your favorite part?
The press conferences that have the really stupid questions are my favorite part.
Exactly. We saw a lot of them this last week, maybe this weekend. I think my favorite one was the one to Drake May. And are you guys playing to win the game?
The same thing was asked to Mike Vrabel.
It was different. Is this a must-win game?
Yeah.
There was one that guy asked Sam Darnold. I don't remember what it was, but it was equally as funny.
It was like, hold on, time out.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I find this very funny is because I didn't know that question was asked. I had a friend send me this and goes, if you make it big one day, please go and ask this question. But I don't know if I need to make it big if that's the questions that are being asked. These people cannot be that big if they're asking these questions. Maybe I can get there next year. Like, god damn.
Well, my theory is those are reporters that are not usually sports reporters. They are reporters that have been thrown into the Super Bowl week because whatever company they work for needs more people on the ground because it's Super Bowl week. And these are the people you're left with. These are the questions that their brains come up with. And I'm not going to diss them. Again, this isn't their thing. I'm assuming these people are not normally like sports reporters, but I'm not going to really hold that against them. I'm sure they're just being handed a generic card of questions to ask. But yeah, it's always great, Brooks. I mean, is this a must-win game? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the Super Bowl. I think it's a must-win game, you know. You don't really play a game after this, so maybe it isn't. But, yeah, I don't know. You're not really playing to move on. So, but, yeah, we'll talk about now we're going to stay on Super Bowl week because there's a lot about it. Why do they do what they do, Brooks? Do we agree with the show ponying of these players, basically? Just throwing them around for the media to gaw at them and ask them these stupid questions. And, yeah, Brooks agrees. All right.
I do agree.
Okay.
It's not like I see what you're saying at the start, rolling them around, doing all this, but like let's keep it real. At the end of the day, I think media coverage is good. I think it brings more insight into the game. It's just again, it's got to be good questions, And I think that there's a very cool line and there's a very distinct line about the coverage. And the cool line is that I think everyone is there, right? Like backups, reserves, starters, coaches, they all got a booth, which then causes a little bit of chaos because there's so many booths. But let's say this: there are some cool moments that happen. Did you see the moment where the reporter with no legs interviewed Jack Campbell and he came down to his level? Thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like that's a really cool moment. That's why when you have everyone there, you can ask everyone questions. But I have opportunities where people like that have unfair advantages or disadvantages go against them. It makes some really cool moments. But again, I think it's good that there's media press conference. Again, you can't have people asking, is this a must-win game? So it's the Super Bowl, goddammit. Of course it's a must-win game. Unless you want to be like, oh, but in the eyes of Jesus, the only must-win. Or if Jalen Hurts was on the mic, he wouldn't say it's a must-win game. So you're asking the wrong person.
So I think he would, just in a more analytic way.
He'd be like freaking Colossians.
Go for it. Let's hear it. Off the dome.
Jalen Hurts?
Now let's hear a quote. I mean, you started going off right there. I thought you had something.
He would be like, yeah, Euphrates once led me into battle in my mind.
Who the fuck is Euphrates? That is not a real person.
That's got to be a Greek god.
That is not a Greek god. I'm telling you right now, that is not a Greek god.
Has led me into battle to know that
just say Ares.
Every day. Ares is boring. Ares is boring.
What? No, that's the god of war.
Euphrates is okay. Yeah, Euphrates is the river in Asia. Euphrates has led me through a constant journey of growing and solving and becoming the man I am today. It is not a must-win in the eyes of Euphrates and God.
All right, let's leave the quotes to the master. Yeah, but it comes to
to be honest, I was pretty close to Jalen Hurts.
It was something, that's for sure.
It's more like listening to Jalen Hurts.
Nah, his makes sense. Back to the players and the show ponying. I mean, I think it's fine in moderation. I think it's way too much, though. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say the Super Bowl needs to happen a week after conference championships, but I mean, 2 weeks, I don't need to see, and again, it's not every day, but it feels like I'm seeing Sam Darnold, Drake May, Mike Vrabel, Mike McDonald, any of these bigger names on the teams. It feels like I'm seeing their faces every day in interviews, talking about something new. Half the time, it's not even about anything sports related, which is fine. That's part of it. Like I do like you were talking about the reporter with no legs. I always like when the kids that come up, like the Nickelodeon kids, and not like the teenagers, like the kids, like the 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, and they have like a question and they like come up and they treat them like a reporter. I always think that's really cool, but like, I just feel like there's way too much, and we have a whole 2 weeks before we play the Super Bowl. And I know like a lot of it is for this kind of stuff, but I mean, you see the NFL, they're I mean, they know they like making their money, and they're doing things to fill these slots between these 2 weeks of real football action. We got, is it the celebrity flag football game or just something flag football game that's coming up now? I'm sure we'll get another sort of probably like women or like youth girls flag football game. I'm pretty sure they do that every year. I don't know if they do that before the Super Bowl, but that might start happening. So I feel like it's fine. We can do all this other stuff outside of the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, but like for the players' perspective, just leave them, let them stay for at least 1 week. I feel like you win the conference championship, and let's put it in for New England's perspective, because the Seahawks hosted their conference championship and they won. The Patriots had to fly, I'm assuming 4 hours to Denver. That's usually that time of flight, maybe 3.5, but they had to fly to Denver, play in that game. We know what the conditions were. They got to fly back to New England. I would assume those players would like at least maybe a week to stay in New England, get practice on their field, get their stuff in. You don't think so?
No, because they got to go to the Super Bowl press conferences and all that, like pre-Super Bowl stuff. They're not gonna have a week.
That's my point. I think they should have a week, and then we can get into all of that the week leading up to the Super Bowl. That's my thing.
That's a tight schedule. I don't know if they can do that.
But that's my point, is we don't need to have all of this media coverage. We can lose some of the things. And you can, like, again, you could do that first half of the week. You could have all of your analysts have booths out there in Santa Clara doing their talk shows like ESPN and CBS and Fox. All of them can be talking about it all, have their booths out there, have fans walking by like they normally do. You can have celebrities come. Like, you can have all these things, but just let the teams stay home for that first week. Like, you can do your celebrity flag football games. You can do the Pro Bowl, because that's what they're doing now apparently. Like, you have all this stuff that you can talk about the week before, or the first week of the Super Bowl break. I feel like just let the players stay an extra week. I feel like that does a lot for them. They get to be home with their families. They get to practice at their facilities where they're comfortable. And then that next weekend, ideally while the Pro Bowl is going on, then those players can travel to the Super Bowl location, do the interviews the following days, practices. Like, I think all of that's fine, but I just think shorten it. That's my suggestion. All right.
Let's get to the Super Bowl.
Now we can talk about the game.
Yeah.
Rematch from what, 10 years ago? Is it Super Bowl 49 that it happened?
Yeah, Super Bowl 49.
Oh, I thought, no, yeah, you're right, 49, because 50 was Broncos, Panthers.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, okay. So
yeah, there was no Super Bowl after 50.
Yes, there was. No, there was.
There was not. They skipped
there
the year.
was.
They went to 52.
Hey, let's be proud. You're one of the, what is it, one of the 9 franchises to be in the Super Bowl in the last 10 years. That's better than a lot of others. All right, well, he's still sulking. We have a rematch of Super Bowl 49. Infamously, the Patriots won that Super Bowl because the Seahawks decided not to run the ball on the 1-yard line with Marshawn Lynch. And going back to, I guess, the Super Bowl week coverage, someone asked Mac McDonald if they find themselves in a similar situation, what would he do? And I'm pretty sure his response is beast mode in the backfield, but kind of in a joking way. But Brooks, what is going to be, I guess, kind of piggybacking off this, what is Seattle's key to winning this game in your eyes?
Ooh, okay. You were talking about offense, so let me stay on that side of the ball.
You don't have to. I think we both know where this is going
There's
to go.
many keys to winning this game, Baron. There's many keys to winning this game. So let me just start off and kind of go a little popcorn back and forth. I made a prediction on another channel. Video comes out today about the Super Bowl. And, I said the Patriots are going to win, but in my heart, I think the Seattle's going to win. I think if Seattle wins, the Super Bowl MVP will be Rashid Shaheed.
Oh, my God.
And here is why. I want to say the key is either getting the run game going or, getting JSN going, right?
Okay.
That's really probably your 2 easiest ways that you run the football or you get the best player on the field, most likely, to be had. The best player on the field to get going. JSN is going to have Christian Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
JSN has a tough matchup. Let's be honest here. Christian Gonzalez is a great corner, and he's been a great corner this playoffs. But you look at
Mm-hmm.
the other side of the ball, the speedy Rashid Shaheed, man, who can fly. Remember that big play he made against the Rams? First
Mm-hmm.
quarter, his only catch he had, actually, that 50-yard catch. It was a glimpse of what he can do against defenses. I think if you can get Rashid Shaheed a little more volume against this Patriots secondary, I kind of like what can happen. Because I think JSN is going to be such the focus. And I honestly trust the Patriots defensive line to stuff, to cram up the holes, to make it tough for Kenneth Walker. That makes it a play for Rashid Shaheed. I think he's the biggest key to this game. Is Sam Darnold is going to get going. I think JSN's getting a lot of coverage. I think Rashid Shaheed might be the X factor this game.
All right. Well, ChatGPT says a wide receiver too has only ever won Super Bowl MVP twice before, and I think one of these times is wrong. So I think it's only once.
What
It's
is
a
it?
very bold prediction. That would be Hines Ward, who was considered wide receiver 2 behind Plaxico Burress at the time. Actually, why is it saying that? Plaxico Burress was never on those teams, was he?
No, that's
Yeah,
not
all right.
right.
So ChatGPT's
Wait,
stupid.
what's the other one? You said twice.
Yeah, it was what is it? It says it says Santana Moss for the Patriots because they
Hmm.
consider, but I think ChatGPT is considering it's not talking about the teams, it's talking about the games because it says Santana Moss was wide receiver 2 behind Terrell Owens for the Eagles, which was the opposing receiver, and I think that's the same with Hines Ward and Plaxico Burress. So ChatGPT is stupid. So yeah, I think this might be the first time a wide receiver 2 will have ever technically won Super Bowl MVP. If this is the case,
I
which
knew I
is
was right.
okay, which is
Hold up.
very far fetched.
Yeah.
I agree. I do think Rashid Shaheed will be a key factor in the game. Like you said, Christian Gonzalez on JSN. I want to see how much Mike Vrabel has him follow him around. I don't know if it'll be that much if I'm being completely honest, but we'll see. We also know like Clint Kubiak does like to use pre-motion, get his guys in space and get them open. I do think you'll see JSN get some action. But I think if Rashid Shaheed has a big game, I'm just telling you, I think it's going to get to the point they might just give it to Sam Darnold. I think he's probably going to have a good game. Again, I think this Patriots defense, while it's good, it's not really up to the standard I think that he's been playing at is throughout the season, especially in division, playing against the Niners and the Rams 3 times this season actually for Sam Darnold, and yeah, especially going up against his defense in practice every day, I'm sure that does wonders. But I think the biggest key to this game for the Seahawks will be their defense. He talked about the offense. We know that it can get going. We know how it goes with the play action and the power run. See how much Kenneth Walker is an impact. He was a huge impact throughout the playoffs, so I'm sure he'll step it up as well. But I do think I look at the Seattle defense, and I think this is the unit that will take over the game. And I say this about a lot of these games: is whichever unit comes to play and has the bigger game will usually bring their team that win. And I just have a lot of faith in this Seattle defensive unit. I like the line. I like the linebackers. I like their secondary. And I'm worried about the Patriot youth, the Patriot inexperience, and really just, I mean, you look at the Patriots' strength of schedule, I'm going to confidently say this is going to be the hardest defense Drake May has played yet in his collegiate or his pro career. This will
No.
be. Okay. Brooks is
No.
saying no. I'm going to
No,
say
no,
yes.
no, 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 no,
Brooks is
no,
saying
no, no. No.
Okay, you're talking about the Texans. But
And the
I'm
Broncos.
I like Seattle's over the Broncos.
I like the Texans over over Seattle's. I'll tell you
I
that.
could I could argue. I'll hear you out on that one, but not Denver's. And again, I think Denver has a great defense, but Seattle is easily above Denver.
Oh, here's my research. Deion Branch won a Super Bowl MVP in 2004, 2005 with the Patriots against the Eagles.
Okay.
He was wide receiver 3 if you look at the statistics.
Oh wow.
He had 118 receiving yards, 11 catches, but going into that game, he only had 454 receiving yards on the season.
There you go.
So, yeah. But back to your point. So it is possible. It's just very
It is
unlikely.
possible. I just think he would have to exclusively be targeting
It's just so
Raheem Shaheed.
stupid. It's becoming a quarterback award again, man. Everything's becoming a quarterback award.
Except for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, because they can't give it to a quarterback most of the time. So
Shout out. That's what it's for.
yeah.
But I mean, take a look at it. A high level quarterback impacts winning at the highest level. So yeah, it makes sense. And again, I'm not saying that a wide receiver won't win Super Bowl MVP. I'm just saying the only way I see Raheem Shaheed winning it is if he has a stat line like that. JSN has like 2 catches and Cooper Kupp died on the field. I don't know, but yeah, that's really the only way I see that happening. But yeah, I keep forgetting Cooper Kupp's there. I think he'll be a big impact on that team for sure, just with his experience and his ability to get open. His route running's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I just really like Seattle overall more than New England. The only thing I could really look at New England and be like, your advantage is probably in the quarterback. I do think when it comes to raw talent and athleticism, I think Drake May has Sam Darnold beat. When it comes to experience and knowledge of the game, I think that's where Sam Darnold excels over Drake May. He's been around a lot longer. He's been in these higher pressure situations. Maybe not this high of a pressure, but he's dealt with pressure a lot more than Drake May, I would argue, so far in his NFL career. So yeah, we'll see who wins. Do you have the keys to the game for the Patriots, Brooks? What do they have to do for you, or what do they have to do for you to think this team is going to win the football game?
See, that's the thing is like I kind of already said what it should be is that JSN is going to be your number one focus. That's going to start with Christian Gonzalez, but again, I want to swing it towards the offensive side of the ball. To me, I think the biggest part for this New England team is if they can run the football. Easily, basically said, but I think this team is much better when the run is going for play actions, for Drake May to move the feet a little bit, get the defense shaking. And I think that comes both on the shoulders of Ramondre Stevenson, but I think Mike Vrabel, for a little bit of explosive plays, Travion Henderson needs to come into the game, right? If there's one player I can look at New England and go, they can break the game, it's Travion Henderson. That's a guy that can break the game open. So I think Travion Henderson needs to get out there a little more, get him some touches, but it's all about running the football. Can they get 40 yards, 5 yards, make it 2nd and 5? Because if you have to go against this Seahawks defense, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11, even 2nd and 8, it's a much tougher hill to climb than if you get a 2nd and 6. So it's the small things like that I think can swing this entire Super Bowl, the run game.
Yeah, well put. I'm also interested to see what kind of Patriots defense comes to play the Super Bowl, right? You have 2 whole weeks to get ready. We know what their ceiling is, and that is elite, top 10 level defense. Oh, there goes my light.
And there it goes.
There we are. It's plugged in, by the way, so I don't know why it's... Oh, there it goes. Okay. Sorry. So, yeah. I don't even remember what I'm talking about. Fuck.
Patriots defense.
Right. Patriots defense. You don't know which unit you're going to get, right? This is a unit who can come out, be one of the best in the league, top 10 for sure. But they can also go out, stink the joint up, and lose you a game to the fucking Raiders. So, and again, I know that's week 1. We're far past week 1, but it did happen. It's the Raiders. We have to talk about that. Anyway, but yeah, it's just this Patriots defense to me is not consistent, right? They've been pretty consistent throughout this playoff run. How much you want to argue their playoff opponents, how good they were, I'll leave that to you. But statistically, their defense has been pretty good this playoff run. I do think this will be the best offense they've played in the postseason, as well as defense. And this is the best team they're going to play in the whole postseason overall. So it's really just, yeah. I feel like if you look at it from the other side for the Seahawks, I feel like their hardest game they played was conference championship. Their game against the Rams. I'm sorry, that's how I'd argue it, and I think that could be something that the Patriots could maybe capitalize on, right? Because you look at the Patriots or you look at the Seahawks and like, all right, we're playing a young team. This guy's just got hired as the head coach. He's clearly good, knows what he's doing. But I think if you think about it, if you're the Seahawks mindset, you're like, we're an older, more experienced team than this Patriots team. Statistically, we're better on both sides of the ball. And if you look at who they've played in the playoffs, a backup quarterback and 2 brain-dead quarterbacks, versus we've played a really good coaching team in, the 49ers. I mean, they almost they beat the crap out of them, but the 49ers proved that they can compete with backup players due to their coaching. And then, I would say the Los Angeles Rams. I think this was a team you predicted would beat the Seahawks, one of the better teams in the season in division. And, they held out, were able to beat the Rams, move on to the Super Bowl. But I think if you look at it from a Seahawks player point of view, and this, again, is not probably a good thing, but you're probably looking and say, we kind of already played the hard team this postseason, whereas you look at the Patriots and, like, this is going to be the hardest team we've played so far. So I think if you have those mindsets and you have New England come out quick, aggressive, catch them off guard, maybe go up 14-0 early, that's something I could see due to Seattle underestimating. Again, it's all about mindset, how much that plays into athletics. I'm actually taking psychology of coaching right now, and I just learned it plays a lot, actually. So, it's a lot. There's a lot to it outside of about the mental preparation and all that. And I think just all these players, all this, again, the 2 weeks, more time to think about it, get in your head as well. I think more of the mindset is the Seattle is we've already played hard teams, so we can do this. We don't need to. This isn't like, whereas I guess where you say the Patriots is, this is the hardest team we'll have played arguably all season. We cannot afford to make a single mistake. We have to be ready. Whereas the Seahawks are probably like, all right, we can take like a day off. We can breathe a little. We already played our hard game. So I want to see if that mentality sort of comes in a little. I know that was kind of a long explanation to what I'm trying to say, but I think that'll play a big factor as well. But keys to the game for the Patriots overall is, I think, fast start, aggressive start, and I think you got to keep that mentality throughout the game. I think you might not agree with me here, Brooks. And again, I think this also might depend on how the game flow is going. But I think if you're Mike Vrabel, you are approaching this game with the mindset, I'm going to be aggressive on 4th down. I'm going to, if it's 4th and 1 on like around the 40-yard line, I'm going for it. 4th and 2 around the 30-yard line, I'm going for it. You want to be aggressive when you're playing teams like this because, and again, you have to kind of wait and see how the game goes, because if Seattle's making a lot of mistakes, then yes, you want to take your points and just play smart football. But if they're playing smart football as well and you only get so many chances, you need to be aggressive. So I think that's going to be the key. You need to get your defense going early. I think you need to, as soon as Seattle touches the ball, you need to hit them with a 3 and out. You need to make a statement early on defense. And if you do that, control the game early, I think they can win this football game.
Why do I have the feeling that if I am a Seahawks fan, I'm more nervous about this game than if I'm a Patriots fan? I'm not even talking about
because you have a lot more to lose.
I'm not even talking about Super Bowls. That's what I feel like. Like, I feel like – also, here's what I feel. I don't know what it is, Baron, but an emotional – it's been 2 emotional victories for Seattle. I feel like they're very draining. Very draining to beat division rivals. That's always big games, especially in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots' first 2 games,
cakewalks.
Yeah, there wasn't like there was an emotional kind of.
They played C.J. Stroud, who's arguably the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Again, I said arguably, and playoff Justin Herbert, who you can honestly put right in that conversation.
Playoff Pete.
Exactly. Playoff Herbert. So, I mean, 2 of the worst quarterbacks we've ever seen. Then you play a backup in a blizzard where you were already up. So, no, I mean, to Patriots haters, which is a lot of them, this is right there with the Lakers bubble ring in terms of how easy it was for them to get there. And it's not gonna be the same because they're not gonna be the Lakers playing an 8 seed that somehow got to the bubble in the Heat.
Lakers bubble rings is actually one of the most impressive rings, but I digress.
Oh yeah, I know that argument, but you know why people say that. But
Most pure ethical hoops I've ever watched in my life.
All right, whatever. Sure. Anyway, okay, that's a debate for another day. Anyway, I would not compare this Seattle Seahawks team to that Miami Heat team. I think it's far and away the better team than the Lakers. I think the Seahawks are favored, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, but I get what you're talking about. Like, Seattle's exhausted, they're emotionally drained. Again, I think the 2 weeks is probably going to be much more beneficial for them than the Patriots. But I just think it's going to come down to coaching. Come down to discipline. Yeah, we've seen both teams lose bad early on in the season. I'll throw the Seahawks in there as well. They easily should have beat the 49ers. I think it was week 2 or week 3 when they were at home, and Tariq Woolen had one of the worst games of his career. I remember that specifically because I came on the podcast the next day talking about the Seahawks were going to be terrible this season because their defense looked washed. And yeah, that was just one bad game that I overreacted to. Look where they are now. So yeah, it's going to come down to discipline, coaching, and composure. But I think if you look at raw skill and talent, if everything else is even, then the Seahawks are going to come out on top, I think. You say it all the time, Brooks. Experience, right?
Yeah, but how much does that bit me in the ass this playoffs?
It's also true. And I think there's also...
Here's my thing.
Okay.
Past the second quarter, right? Tie game going into halftime. Denver, New England. New England grabs the lead. Was there ever a moment that you were like, Denver's going to win this football game?
So, I didn't watch the second half of that game. I don't remember.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I was driving in the snow.
My thought was it would be rare, right? Okay, let's bring it back to games that you have watched. The Texans-Patriots game. Was there ever a moment where you're like, the Texans are going to win this football game?
Actually, yeah. For most of the game, honestly. I think if I remember correctly, that was a one-score game, right?
Not the ending of it, no.
No, not the ending, but for most of it, it was pretty close.
I think it was 10, and it was like, it would just be interception.
Again, that Texans defense, again, we're going to talk about this till the end of time. Best in the league, arguably. I would still make an argument for the Seahawks, but I could see why you would say that Texans defense was really good. It was ridiculously good. And yeah, I mean, they kept their team in that game the entire time up until around the fourth quarter. And I mean, all it takes is one slant route to break off for 75 yards, and you're right back in that game.
Here's when the emotions go. In the fourth quarter, do you ever think like the Texans are going to win this game after Kayshon Boutte had that amazing touchdown catch in the divisional round?
I actually did not.
In the wild card game, when the Chargers were down, 13 or 10 in the fourth quarter, it was a low scoring game. Was there ever a moment where we thought, hey, Justin Herbert's going to come back here?
Yeah. I mean, I like to be...
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah.
You thought even after down 13, you were like, oh, Justin Herbert.
Oh, down 13. No.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter.
Okay, not down 13. Not down 13.
In the fourth quarter of the Denver-New England game, when the snow is whipping, Jared Stidham is not on his best.
No, I would say no. Because you can't.
Now
it's all right. You go.
Let me do my stirring. Now you look at Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
They had a bye. You wipe out the Niners game. Let's get to the Rams game. Was there ever a moment in that fourth quarter you thought the Rams can win this football game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same for me. I thought the Rams can win this football game, and they can go be off to San Francisco. Here's where the positives and negatives of that come in. I just feel like if this game is close in the fourth quarter, it heavily benefits Seattle. They've had this situation where it's like both teams can win the game. Patriots fans are going to argue about the Broncos game. Let's be real here. But if this game, to me, New England just hasn't been in their games have been driven with emotion and with like you're scared, you have to come back. They've been in control.
Right.
So that's my biggest thing about New England. They've been in control. And if they can keep this one in control, I mean, you talk about experience. I like the experience of New England much better than Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing you're talking about experience is just Drake May. That's the only thing you're talking about. When you talk about this entire unit, coaching staff, who do you trust more in the coaching staff? Mike Vrabel in the company or Mike McDonald in the company?
I really couldn't tell you honestly. I mean,
I would trust Mike Vrabel. I would trust a guy who's been to the big games, who's done
when
it
did he
multiple
go?
times.
With the
As a
Patriots.
player in the Super Bowl,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and he took Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship, almost beat Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes, and he's been to
that's the AFC
multiple.
Championship game.
Yeah, the
No,
AFC Championship.
I would say they're right there in terms of coaching experience. I think Mac McDonald at this point in his career has enough big game coaching experience to hold with Mike Vrabel. Oh, what's got you look like you?
Sorry,
world's
some
about to
NFL
end.
news just happened.
What was it? This is an
The
NFL
fourth-
podcast.
The Fourth Reich will be joining the Jets as the offensive coordinator.
Oh, I have a friend who's gonna lose their shit.
Frank Reich is the new offensive coordinator for the Jets. The Fourth Reich is here.
If you want to make things better, who's the offensive coordinator for the Giants. Everyone say a prayer for the state of New York, but it's okay.
That's
Giants have John Harbaugh, so they'll probably be fine. It's Jets.
Yeah.
Actually, John, we don't. Again, and this is probably as political as the show will ever get, but we don't know what the future of the Giants will be. Their owner has been caught doing some nefarious things with naughty people, so we'll see if that team's even in his ownership by the end of the season. We don't know how much. Again, I think forcing a mid-season sale for something like that will ruin a team's season, even
could be-
in the offseason. So we'll see how that affects them.
This could be
Also,
a top 5 worst takes of all time on Nothing Agreed. Just because you talked to Jeffrey Epstein
Oh my God.
doesn't mean you're a pedophile. All right?
oh no, that's yeah, but it doesn't. But in terms of the eyes of the media, that's not good enough. So sorry.
Zoran Mondani's mom was in the Epstein files. That was a pull I was not expecting.
Yes.
So
How about Freddie Fazbear?
that one I could see a little more than Zoran Mondani's mom.
And
honestly.
Geno Smith was also confirmed to be found in there for all those haters out there. So, did you not see that?
Are you talking about the jersey?
Yeah.
I'm not including any context. I'm just saying my friend Geno Smith was in the Epstein file.
Hey, he was. I know a lot of Raiders fans are glad to hear that, but anyway, we'll move on.
Fine, right back now.
Also, though, this kind of interested. Did you see? I think it was Saturday, or it was either Friday or Saturday. This report came out, but it came out of left field. The Seattle ownership announced that they're selling the team after the Super Bowl. I think they're getting ahead of the curve, Brooks. I think someone on that management team has not been revealed yet, or might be covered by that black box. But that's my theory. So we'll see how that goes.
They're about to get too.
We'll get back. We'll get off the politics. We'll get back to the sports. Super Bowl Sunday. Talking about experience. I'm pretty sure coaching experience, player experience. Yeah, I think the Seahawks that'll benefit a lot more. This is the last point I want to make, or two last points I want to make. But do you remember the Seattle and Washington game, Week 6? I think it was. You remember how that game was?
That was in Washington.
Yeah. Do you remember how that game went?
Mhm.
Something tells me you might see a similar start to that.
Ooh.
I don't know. I just feel like the way this Seahawks team's played all season, I could see like that's something happening again. This Patriots defense usually takes at least a quarter or half a quarter to kind of ramp up. They don't usually start very well. That's kind of why I think they need to. But all I'm saying is I could easily see the Seahawks team going up 21-0 like that. They've shown throughout the season that they're capable of doing that, and especially with how this Patriots defense starts. Yeah, I could see that happening, and that's going to be awful for the Patriots. If you're down 21-0 in the first quarter, that is a huge hole you are climbing out of, and you cannot make mistakes from there on out. The other point I do want to make is a little not as optimistic, but you remember last year when Minnesota Vikings won 14 games and tragically lost the final game of the season to go from the 1 seed to the 5 seed to the Detroit Lions.
Mhm.
And they played the I forget who did they play first round as were they the 5 seed or were they the 6 seed? I think they were the 6 seed because they played
Who?
The Vikings. This was last year's playoffs.
Last year they were the 5 seed and they played the 4 seed Rams.
The Rams, that was it. Right.
Yeah.
And and they got annihilated. Sam Darnold had a bad game. Returned to Jet Sam Darnold. I'm curious, Brooks. Do we see that happen this game? He's been very good this season. I'm gonna say it where it is. I can easily look at him and say were a top 5 quarterback this season in the NFL. Sam Darnold, you did great. He did great for the Vikings last year, and when it mattered the most, he vanished. So, and again, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but in the back of my mind, this is Sam Darnold.
Back of my mind.
This is the same man who's talking about who saw ghosts. So to me, there will always be that possibility, and I wonder if that happens in the big game. That would be awful if you're a Seattle fan, but I personally don't think it will.
Baron. 3 general managers have been fired due to doubting Sam Darnold.
That's true, but is it 3? I thought it was 2, but how many Jets general managers did he get fired?
Panthers.
Oh, Panthers. Yeah, fair enough. I forgot about that, but yeah, kind of crazy when you think about it. But I believe in Sam Darnold. I'm gonna put this on the record. I think he will do a-okay. He's been great this season. I'm just saying, it's always gonna be there. So interested to see how that goes. Now, the best part about the Super Bowl weekend, Brooks. The betting odds, the curses, the streaks, what's living, what's dying. What do you have for us? I know that you are all on top of this. What color is the Gatorade going to be? How long will how long will the national anthem be?
Dude, that's what I'm breaking on right now. Is like, what am I taking, the over, the under, the national?
Who's singing it?
Charlie Puth. You know who that is, right? You know who that is.
I know who Charlie Puth is.
Just knowing you.
I would take the over. What is it actually?
That's my thing. Is I feel like Charlie Puth has such an ego. It's gonna be over.
Yeah, I think it would be over. Well, I think he's more of a slower kind of melody guy too, so I would say over. Well, it depends on the line though. Again, we'll have to look. Gatorade color. Hit us with it. What is it?
Gatorade color. I got a feeling the Gatorade color. I want to say the Gatorade color is gonna. If you're safe, you pick blue. Patriots have blue.
Orange.
Seahawks have blue. Orange is the favorite.
Book it. Yeah, I know, but book it. It's gonna be orange.
I'm taking blue.
All right, fair enough. And the last question I had for you. This isn't really about gambling or streaks or whatever, but
I love gambling and streaks.
The most infamous of Super Bowl stats, I would say, is for every first-year quarterback that goes to the Super Bowl, right? Now, obviously, Sam Darnold has been to the Super Bowl before, but he falls into this category because he's now the starter, not the backup.
So, as for Drake May too?
Yes, this goes for Drake May too. They're both starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowl for the first time. Obviously, someone will lose this game. Now, the statistic is that when you lose the first game you lose your opening Super Bowl as a quarterback, you usually never make it back. It's only been done once. I'm not going to go into who that was. You'll just get angry, but only been done once. Do you see that happening between these two teams? And if so, who would it be?
Say that again. They lose once?
So if the starting quarterback, you go to your first Super Bowl, right? Like how Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl for his first year, and he lost to Matthew Stafford and the Rams, and he has not been back since. That is usually the trend. There's only ever been one quarterback in NFL history, or maybe two. There's only a rare amount of quarterbacks who go to the first Super Bowl for the very first time in their career, lose, and then go back later. That's only ever happened once or twice.
I see.
So, for both quarterbacks that are playing in the Super Bowl for the first year, assuming one of them loses, I'm not saying one of them is going to lose. You don't have to tell me who you think is going to lose, but if one of them were to lose, which one would you see most likely getting back?
I think we're probably going to be in agreement. I'm going to take Drake May. Just again, we're talking about longevity of a career, so you give me more time. We're talking about a guy who's right in the MVP mix. if you want to be that guy, he plays in Boston, so Boston Juju is on his side. He's got Mike Vrabel leading the helm, guy who gets the job done. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold, is he locked down in Seattle? Right? How many more teams is he going to bounce around to? Can he continue this level of play? Just give me Drake May because he is Boston Juju, plus he's a second-year quarterback, and he has good coaching around him.
I agree.
Yeah.
The argument I would make for Sam Darnold, though, would be is he plays well this Super Bowl. I think he will. He'll earn himself a spot on that roster the following year. And the Seattle
He
team.
signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
So he's got time on there.
That's true. Yeah, I
Just
forgot about
how
that.
much time does he have on there? You know?
It's true. But I think if somehow the Seattle Seahawks lose this football game, I do think there's a good chance, at least right now looking at the NFL landscape, there's a very good chance they could make their way right back to that game next year. That's the only reason I'd give for Sam Darnold. But yes, I do think that Drake May will have a long career to get back to multiple Super Bowls, I'm sure, as the Patriots always fucking do. I'm sure he'll win 3 in his first 5 years with his legacy head coach. God, this is becoming a weekly rant, I feel like, at this point. But I was, you know what, and we're going to talk about basketball for a second, but obviously, fuck the Celtics. They don't need Nikola Vucevic. Like, screw off. Why are you still trying to be competitive? Go suck for a year. We hate you. But I saw something, right? And this made me, and this was, I was playing video games late at night, right? And, I think it was 11:30 or something. And I'd lost the game. I was mad. I was getting upset. And someone went into the game chat and in all caps texted, Giannis traded to Boston. Brooks, I almost threw my controller into the wall in frustration. Thankfully, I fact-checked it and saw that was not real, but oh my God, I was so angry when I saw that. I cannot even begin to tell you. Yeah, they have no idea how lucky they have it. Genuine no idea. I hope they lose the Super Bowl. Honestly, they don't deserve the Super Bowl in any shape or form. I love Drake May. Will always love Drake May. But other than that, screw the Patriots. Let's go Seahawks. Anything you want to say before we close it out?
I hate Boston sports. This is gonna sound like, wow, this is actually devilish of me to say.
No, it's here.
But
they don't deserve anything. We as a sports community, not just one sport, as a whole, need to unite against them because they suck.
This is how bad it's gotten. Remember, I'm younger.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been on this planet for a measly 22 years. And in my time existing,
mm-hmm.
especially in the latter half of my life,
oh yeah,
Boston's got everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's to the point, Baron, where I root for the Yankees over the Red Sox.
Should.
I root for the Yankees over the Red Sox.
I think the only time I would ever cheer for a Boston team is if the Patriots were playing the Cowboys. I think that's it.
I was just thinking about that.
I don't think I would ever cheer for the Celtics.
If the Saints were playing the Patriots, I think I might be rooting for the Patriots.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever cheer for the Celtics. Even if they were playing the Knicks, I think I would cheer for the Knicks. I would never cheer for the Red Sox, like you said. I don't even know the Bruins well enough to say anything on them, but I'm sure they're good at something, so fuck them. But yeah, so screw them. I mean, you probably don't follow us, but even Boston's even good at the Premier Lacrosse League, so like fuck them. Like they can't have everything. That's my point. So yeah, screw Boston always. Let's go Seahawks. Anything else you want to close out with?
Yeah. Sam Darnold, I love you, you ginger beast.
Yes.
Carry on the ginger legacy.
Yep. Yeah. And one last political message before we close.
I have a feeling that we're gonna be on our next podcast sad.
Yeah, probably. But we can end on a positive note. Spread your political activism. Go out there and fight for your rights. Free Paul George from the NBA's tyranny. He did nothing wrong. So go walk out of your high schools. Go get Adam Silver on
They
notice.
still didn't say what drug he did.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. Free Paul George though, because the Sixers need him, and that's all I have left at this point.
Here's what I'll say to close out. Thank you all for a great 2025 NFL season, 2026. It's been amazing. The offseason will be next episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. Baron, you know what we got to do? We got to get back into clips, man. We got to get back into clips. You know, my friend actually texted me
Mm-hmm.
that we should, Josh Pate does like 5 to 10 minute clips. We should do something like that. We'll see what's up. We need to
Okay.
get back into clips, kind of longer form discussion. We'll see what happens. But we'll get back to
Time
that.
for 'em.
Some fun NFL stuff. Let's get right back into it, man.
Of course. Is that it?
That's it. That'll be another episode of Nothing
All
Agreed.
right.
Thank you so much for listening. Who do y'all have winning the big dance, the Super Bowl, the biggest game of the season? Is it going to
Yep.
go back to New England, or is it going to go right up the coast of the West Coast back to Seattle? Other than that, thank you so much for listening, and peace.